Lethe. I'm like someone who goes out of the house, stops. I almost forgot it. I did not want to remember. I think my mind has used a lot of energy on it, to hide the memory as deep as possible. Just stupid that the preconscious always knows no path to the conscious. I always wanted to create something, a book, a song, a painting, a drawing, without asking why. The memory came slowly. I can no longer even remember when for the first time. I was surprised, but thought to know further about it. And then it came more and more often, more and more distinct, more and more aware. Then you all have, my angels, left me no other choice. A stroke of luck or a gift from God. And now? What should I do now, unable as I am? Not even for that I'm capable of, or however? You are so mercilessly, my angels. Please take me with you. Dreamland, aviation, ride. Give me all of that ultraviolence. Suppression. Suppression is a very important mechanism. I mean it thus. Suppression. Without this, one could not cope his life. Suppression helps to forget wounds, helps to keep going on. But suppression can also be dishonest. Suppression is then dishonest when it's not about your own person but about another person. Suppression is then only the nice and practical mechanism in order not to have to face your own deeds. Suppression degenerates then towards something disgusting, dishonest, outrageous. Domenico Ghirlandaio, Giovanna Tornabuoni. In my studies at the very beginning in Marburg, I wrote a paper on this picture. It began with the words, "I'm in love with the picture." I've researched the exact historical background, hours in the library of the historians, have logged the pedigrees, the background of her arranged marriage. But this affected me not so much. More her end. Died in puerperium, birth of the first child. I think she was 22 years old when I have it still right in the head. Nothing special at this time, nor the circumstances of their marriage. Renaissance, so much better than the Middle Ages. Is dying not always the same? Today her portrait hangs opposite to my bed, along with the frescoes on which she also can be seen. She is the last what I see at night and the first in the morning. I did not lie when I said that I have fallen in love with her, a love that continues to this day, which is deep and honest. And always the mourning about her death is combined therewith, whom she shares with so many unfortunate women of her time. The men on the battlefield, or in family feuds, the women in puerperium. Happy Renaissance. I would like to see one of the mosaics of Ghirlandaio, and I want to consider this picture in the original ones. It will be one of the most poignant moments in my life. Leonardo da Vinci, Lady with an Ermine. I felt her always much more beautiful and also more appealing as the Mona Lisa, who just probably has the luck to be in Paris. Against such a young, beautiful, appealing woman in my early youth, in a magnificent robe, aspirations, they not let me go. The ermine, her role, engaged with 10 years, mistress also she, educated, happy. A better life than the ordinary woman, or? Whether she looks, the young lady and her ermine, her long fingers, he the paw lifted. Not me at least she looks at, I her awfully well. Would I have been the ermine with pleasure, the one she fondles, who took her as mistress to bed? Da Vinci, he probably loved his youngling more, the one he presents very appealing. I seek more for the represented, who eludes me. Frida Kahlo, Self-Portraits. Naturaleza Viva, one of the few films about artists that are worth looking at. Frida Kahlo. I would not suggest that I understood her. The revolutionary force in her life and her pictures. She was strange to me. I was enamored, fascinated. Her pictures which she painted of herself, odd, strange, attractive, different, not a classic beauty, so indescribably beautiful, so strong, indescribably strong, or her strokes of fate, accident, suffering, Rivera, her bad boy from which she could not rub. Their lives were so full of occurrences, acted out emotions, minds so bland, uneventful. Even if the worst could have happened 3 times, never something happened. Not with me, not with her. How I yearned for a life like this. Ridiculous. Just to get up I should have. Only to go just one step. Back then, not now. Now it's still only a farce, arrogant alibi, dishonest doing. Frida Kahlo, I admire her pictures, as she pictures herself, presents. Does a lot of courage belongs to it? Artemisia Gentileschi, Judith. His Judith, her Judith. She shows how it really is, a head to detach. Not as easy as one might think. Even with a dead animal not easy. You have to cut between the cervical vertebrae. The vertebra itself one cannot sever, at the uttermost with an executioner's axe. But easily tilts the blade, cuts still into the bone, gets stuck therein. As I said, already not easy with a dead animal. Often made it. In a case of a almost drunken but still living there to quite handsome man, without any question, no simple endeavor. Thus, the artist shows of her work concentrating Judith. For the viewer, no view remains. She searches the gap between the vertebrae, but cuts the throat and the vein first, at the bottom, not upward it squirts. The bed she dyes the blood, a puddle forms it. The sword she has firmly encompassed, the head is squeezed downwards, though that she sees what to do. But even now, the to beheading defends itself, drunken he still unleashes resistance. So the maid not only stands there, but kneels on the bed and probably also on him. With 2 hands, she is just able to push down one arm. The other arm tries to grasp her. So the arms are engaged with the maid, not against Judith they can be. She can do her work. She looks beautiful as she kills, murders, takes life. Her blue dress, gorgeous the coloring, delightful the bulging chest, also the maid in her address. What a beautiful couple. And Holofernes? Does she not had given herself to you several times? Did you not had your joy with her, satisfied your passion, made her to a whore? Is there a difference? Holofernes beheaded, Warhol shot? And Artemisia? Was she allowed to lead her life? Was she allowed to paint holy women by day, to fuck them by night? Was she allowed? Of course not. And yet, perhaps a little, she was like Judith. To be desired, it's her. Her wives, so beautiful they are, so beautiful their dresses, so confident they seem, so self-determined. As if she shows herself as a painter, the view, the hair. Not covered, only respect for female artists, to desire to be able to stay a little in order to watch her by her doing, the creation, in humility and worship. I love the movie. Thank you for listening.